We're currently living in the fourth industrial revolution, and this era is the most fast-paced era ever, in which we are learning new things which change the world as we see it every day. Human species has always been innovating, even before the primitive times of Stone Age. However, we have come a long way from the Stone Age and we are developing newer technologies now faster than ever. These technologies have drastically changed the way we spend our time and do certain things. It has most definitely made our lives much easier. Today we'll be looking at the top 10 technological advancements that are changing the world. Number 10. Fighting fire with sound, wave extinguisher. With the changing environment, we have seen a drastic increase in wildfires in the recent times. Not only the frequency of these fires is increasing, but they are also getting increasingly difficult to control and contain. The situation is only expected to worsen with each passing year as the global average temperature rises. To tackle this, a method is developed to fight fires using sound waves. This has been in development since 2015 and is very near to a large-scale deployment. The acoustic fire extinguisher was first developed to fight small fires such as in the kitchen. It uses sound waves specifically based to push away the oxygen from the fire source, extinguishing it shortly after. Since it has been in development for a long time, all the technicalities are now sorted out and we're very close to seeing large-scale application of this. This method is likely to become the primary way of firefighting in the near future. Number 9. Floating farms. With its population growing exponentially, the world is struggling to produce enough food for its inhabitants. It is estimated that 30% of all global land surface is used for farming, 2/3 of which is used for livestock farming, and the remaining 1/3 is used for agriculture. This has environmental implications also, as in order to acquire more land for cultivating and raising livestock, people often resort to large-scale deforestation. To battle this situation, the concept of floating farms was brought forward. This concept involves building a large movable complex on a water surface. The concept is to use the area which would remain unused otherwise. It can be used to raise a large number of livestock animals for meat and milk. Since these floating farms are located near the cities, it also reduces the transportation time and cost for the fresh food. The floating farms are usually powered by renewable energy, so they can also reduce the negative effects on the environment. In a world with scarce land surface, this technology is surely going to revolutionize the way we keep and raise livestock. Number 8. Self-healing concrete. We see countless infrastructure developments around us every day, and one of the most commonly used construction material around the world is concrete. 30 billion tons of concrete is used each year. However, as tough as it is, concrete is not immune to deterioration. Over time, concrete can develop cracks or holes that can undermine the stability. So in order to avoid disaster in the long term, concrete needs to be maintained, repaired or replaced. To overcome this problem, researchers have made a breakthrough: self-healing concrete. Inspired by body's ability to heal wounds, self-healing concrete also secretes some kind of materials to heal any cracks or holes. To create self-healing concrete, special materials like fibers or capsules with some adhesive qualities are added into the concrete mixture. In case of a crack, the fibers will break and the liquid it will excrete will fill the crack at once. If done right, we might never even notice the crack. Although it is still in development phase, self-healing concrete is just around the corner and we shall see large-scale applications of it very soon. Number 7. Hydrogen fuel cells. With environmental well-being as one of our biggest concerns nowadays, it is imperative that we move from fossil fuels to cleaner energy sources. Due to this reason, we have seen a sharp rise in electric vehicles and hybrid cars. But there is another way which seems to be even more efficient and environmentally friendly. Hydrogen fuel cells use chemical energy of hydrogen to produce electricity efficiently and without any harmful waste, as the only waste that hydrogen fuel cells produce is water. Hydrogen fuel cells have a variety of potential applications. Multiple fuel cells can be used at once to generate power for an entire utility power station or for something as small as a desktop computer. Even aircraft manufacturers have shown their interest in hydrogen fuel cells as an alternate to fossil fuel, as it would be easier than full electrification. This technology is approaching its final development and testing stages and will soon be available and adopted at a large scale. Number 6. Internet of Things, smart homes. Throughout the history, technology has made things easier for us. The primitive tools helped us hunt more easily or light a fire without so much struggle. Similarly, in the 21st century, technology is continuing to make our life easier, saving us time and effort. Internet of Things have been around for many years now, but it's approaching a stage where it can be dominating the world in the future very soon. This technology allows different devices to be connected through a network which facilitated communication between devices themselves and the cloud. You can manage things to your liking with a simple touch of a button, or even better, your voice. In the present, this technology is most commonly used to control the doorbells, lighting, sound and temperature, but its potential applications are limitless. As of 2020, the global market for this technology was seized at $86.48 billion, which is only expected to grow in the future. Number 5. 3D printing. 3D printing has been around the corner since the 1980s, when it was used only for production of aesthetic or functional prototypes. But more recently, this technology has expanded its applications vastly and is now being considered as a viable option for industrial production. 3D printers are simple and complex at the same time. It constructs a three-dimensional model with a variety of materials that are solidified under computer control, which decreases errors to a minimal. 3D printers are going as far as creating limbs for amputees and even creating structures such as houses. Creating a house with a 3D printer gives a level of precision that a human simply cannot achieve, and it also saves the hassle and the time of transporting all the material to the construction site. Although it has come a long way since its advent in the late 20th century, 3D printing is still to achieve its potential might. Number 4. Spin launch. Humans have always looked up to the stars and have always been striving to reach for them, and since the time humanity first stepped on the moon in July 1969, everybody wants a chance to experience something similar. However, the problem with sending any kind of payload into the space the traditional way is that it costs a ton of money and creates lots and lots of pollution. Every major company has their eyes on space and space travel and wants to come up with their own way to make it easier, cost-effective and less damaging to the environment. However, Spin Launch is a lesser-known company that is revolutionizing the space launch. Spin Launch has created a suborbital accelerator that is designed to send satellites and spacecrafts into the space. Instead of relying on traditional rockets, Spin Launch's suborbital accelerator is designed to spin objects in a vacuum-sealed centrifuge to a speed of up to 5,000 miles an hour and then literally throw the object towards the sky. A rocket booster could be used once the suborbital height has been achieved. The only problem is that if the satellites would be able to handle the enormous G-force that would be produced during the launch. Nevertheless, Spin Launch is most likely to be the future of payload delivery to the space in coming years. Number 3. Quantum computing. Classic computers are an important part of our lives now, and we cannot imagine a world without computers anymore. With time, these computers have gotten smaller in size and more powerful in carrying out their tasks. But a classical computer can achieve only a certain level of efficiency, which is why scientists have been trying to create a quantum computer, and they are just closing in on it. A quantum computer handles and stores data differently than our everyday computers. Where a classical computer uses bits, which only exists in 0 and 1, a quantum computer uses qubits that are subatomic particles such as electrons or photons that allow these particles to exist in more than one state. This is called superposition, and because of this, a quantum computer can solve infinitely complex problems that a traditional one could never do, as the possible combinations for qubits are exponentially higher than those of bits. Quantum computers can change the world of technology, and the researchers are closer than ever to build one that is large and stable enough to perform optimally. Number 2. GPT-3. Researchers have always been fascinated by artificial intelligence and have worked tirelessly to know more and more about it and develop it as much as possible. From simple voice assistants like Siri and Alexa, they have created something extraordinary: generative pre-trained Transformer 3 or GP3. GP3 is a language model that is autoregressive and uses deep learning to produce human-like text. It is created by OpenAI, which is a California-based AI research laboratory. GP3 can generate such a high-quality test that it can be almost impossible to tell which one is written by a human and which one is written by GPT-3. It uses deep learning, which means it studies the past behavior to predict what's going to be the next step. It is an amazing development that is going to have vast implications in the world. Number 1. Cultured meat. Meat industry is one of the most harmful industries to the environment, responsible for around 15% of all carbon emissions. And as world population is expected to hit 10 billion by 2050, this percentage is unlikely to go down. Scientists have been working to tackle this problem, and they might have found a solution to the meat problem. Cultured meat is produced in labs by scientists using in vitro cells, cultures, of animal cells using actual cells from live animals. Unlike plant-based alternatives to the meat, this is actual meat. The only difference is that for us to have this meat, an animal does not have to be butchered. The production process is evolving constantly, driven by multiple research institutions and companies, and with this process inching towards perfection, we might soon be finding a harmless solution to the ever-increasing demand for meat. These are the top 10 technologies that are changing the world. What are the fascinating technologies that we miss out? And with all these technologies widely applied, what would the world be like in the near future? Let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.